Hello YouTube, Ronin Kaze, got it. Sorry that's a daily game for me. Sorry about my fake headphones. Hey, I'm in Elder Scrolls Online. And this was a character I made way back a couple years ago, and I was, leveling it up and letting you see how it was leveling. This character's level 50 at the max now. This character, if you've seen some of my other ESO videos, this character already has the skill split, so it's an Arcanist, which when you see the green stuff, that's an Arcanist. I'm also, I think they have like a Sorcerer, and then like they call it a Nightblade, and I got skills from each of those. The Sorcerer skill I have is one, I have an area of effect like a path, like if AoE bombing. The number skill I'm doing the most is when I do that's called, you have two types of hits in ESO. You have a light attack and a heavy attack. Heavy attack is just you're holding down your attack button until it goes off. So it's like a longer, deliberate strike. And so I have a skill that increases that damage. From the assassin line, I have one where every one of my hits gives me back health. As you know, I'm a lifesteal person. And then I have two other utility skills. I have one that taunts, that's from the Arcanist line. And that's important when you have companions, because unless they're pretty tanky, I'm fighting like a world boss kind of thing. So in each zone, they have like some world bosses that are tougher. They're usually group content. And I'm going to solo these with my companion. The other thing about this character was I got a set of light armor out of my bank. And so this isn't even set up how I'd want it to be set up. And then I had to buy 2 weapons on the guild market. People can have their own, sell their loot, and then they get money. There's no real store. There's just, you can get basic stuff at a store. But anything that's worth anything is on these guild stores. And I know when I'm saying that, there's just a lot of nuances I'm going over. Why should you get into Elder Scrolls? Well, Elder Scrolls 6 is delayed. So to scratch your Elder Scrolls itch, right, you're going to play Elder Scrolls Online. Here I am turning into a werewolf. So another great thing about this game, you can be a vampire or a werewolf. Those are skill lines. You can be an assassin, Dark Brotherhood, that's a skill line. You can be a Thieves Guild, that's a skill line. You can be whoop-de-doo mage person, that's a skill line. So there's all these other things you can do to augment your character. You can be undaunted, you can be people that fights undead, and you can be psychic order. So there's all these other things. You have so many options, so many weapons, so many classes, so many ways to do your skills, so many ways. It's a great game. It never gets boring for that stuff. And there's housing in it also. So one time I'll show you my house. For me, I got a big land and it's on like water that's leading out to the, whatever. And it's not a house. It's just open, like a field, like it's a Who song, YouTube. So the werewolf is pretty tanky. And when it howls, it heals itself. So it has like a damage over time heal. It has a taunt. And it has like a thing where it makes the enemy vulnerable. Werewolf to me, is fantastic. It's one of the things I love about this game. How do you become a werewolf? You can either buy it or you can have someone bite you. So there's a skill. When someone becomes a werewolf, they can take part of the skill where they can bite you like once every week. They can bite someone and give them the skill. So that's something that you may be able to do in your guild, or you may be able to, if we ever talk, you two, I could come bite you in the game or something. That totally, YouTube, I apologize. No biting in the game. AI overlords, please strike that from the record. So we're whittling this guy down. The other thing, I think I mentioned this about World of Warcraft, is you can't fly right away. And I don't know if you can fly in here. I never needed to fly in here. The map is big enough, but what you're going to see now, I'm going to run over to another world boss. So I'm going to get on my mount. You get mounts right away. There's none of the pain points that in some of these other games that you get. You're just going to get right to the area. Now, the thing about I'm riding over to this other area, earlier, YouTube, I by accident attacked a local guard, right? So this isn't tab-based targeting. It's targeting where you put your crosshairs over the person and you do a skill. I thought, I'm going to go through this area where there's some mobs. My companion was engaged with the mob. I said, let me help her out. And then it was a guy that wasn't. So these people here, not the ghost people, but any guard in any city is going to come after me. This is called foreshadowing, YouTube. But I'm running over to this world boss. So each zone has points of interest to find. It's all these things that make a game. I'm tired of just grinding. I want to do something else that I still get XP for. So there's all these things. And one of the things is this world boss kind of thing. So each zone has 2 to 3 world bosses. So there's a little symbol, a skull with crossbones. The world boss isn't out here yet, so there's some minions. I smoke them, which is going to trigger another set of people. As soon as I kill that guy, you'll see me spin around, and there's a person joining me. So why am I playing an MMORPG? That guy's going to help. And you might have saw that yesterday in Spirit Vale. That was happening over there too. And so this guy is Arcanist too, but it looks like he's running full Arcanist. And I'm going to tank this guy in my light armor. So I make sure I'm taunting this guy. You'll see me go into a block posture. I have my skill set up, so when I go to a block, it puts a shield around me. It takes about 6,000 damage. I also have another skill where when I do this skill, it gives me 16,000 worth of like damage shield. And then when that's broken, it explodes and does damage to that person also. I think I showed you this technique on another character. I just picked the skills willy-nilly because I'm just trying to grind them out. But on this character, this is a purposeful. This is, meant to do this. The other thing I want to tell you about Elder Scrolls Online, you want, I think, till you get completely set up and you're starting to raid, but you want one of your characters outfitted in training gear. So all the gear has, of course, the armor stuff, and it has like a little other thing it does, but then it can have like an overall theme. And so there's some gear called training that gives you like 7% roughly, depending if it's augmented enough up. So you can get more XP, which is important when you're trying to level these other skills. So there's a quest line that they changed. It was from the original game. I'm not going to spoiler alert it. So if you're starting off with this game for the first time, you can see the guy in back. I've switched to werewolf now, and I'm just owning this guy. This is not normally the time I'd ask you to like, share, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe. And if you'd like to buy me a monster or a cup of coffee, look, YouTube, I finally made the switch. You could do that. Thanks. All right, so now I'm going to go do quest. I'm in another zone, so I'm going to find like a transportation hub. And I'm going to go there. And it's cheaper if you go there and you pick the place to go to. It's free. You can go to any place normally once every like half hour, and it costs you like $100. And you can take skills that will lower this. So I'm going to go to the map I'm working on, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go there to the map, and boom. And now I'm going to go over to that area. Maybe I had to do it again. I was probably under attack. And this is like they're not trolls, but there's another race that's the orcs. This is the orc home city, so I'm doing, I was doing some quests in the orc home city, so now I'm finding out I'm going to go travel to this place. So, you've seen Spirit Vale the other day. You've seen Guild Wars. You've seen Division 2, Star Wars Old Republic. ESO and Guild Wars are more traditional kind of MMORPGs, partly because of, like, you know, this is like the D&D universe, although this isn't like the D&D universe. So instead of transporting over to this area, I'm going to run. I come across this area where there's a lot of mobs there, and I'm like, should I stop and kill these guys? No, I'm going to get on my horse. And one of the nice things about just exploring or traversing the area, sometimes you come across stuff that you want to fight. Like, I'm always looking to fight lieutenants. So just in general, I don't know what they're called in each game, but you have the basic mob. Oh gosh, I'm not going there yet, YouTube. This was at starter mission. If you go to this starter mission, it's in each of the 3 cities, and Guild Wars, you can be one of 3 factions. Who am I talking to? Oh, no, that's not that part yet. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm all over the road. I'm finishing up that quest there. It has 3 factions. That's where you get this training armor as part of as you level up. So you can do that quest line when you're little, and it gives you training like every 3 or 4 levels. But I also say just leave it. Don't take any of that armor. You don't need it yet. Kind of need some pieces. But save some of those quests when you get level 50, because it's a cheap, easy way to get training armor to do that quest. So every game has some kind of thing where it's like basic mob, lieutenant mob, and then like boss mob. And then you have raid bosses, which is like above that. So I'm in trouble here. I could pay the bounty, which I usually do, but now I just run. So now that guy's going to attack me. This choice will affect your companion. Some companions that are thieves want you to run. This companion's a goody two-shoes, so I might have lost some influence with her. Another mechanic. It's part as a thief guild. If you get caught, sometimes they'll chase you. You have to pay bounties. You lose the stuff you stole. So there's just a ton. So why don't I always play ESO? Well, I play ESO a lot. I have, I don't know, let's say on this server, I got like 18 characters, and they're all level 50. They're all max. I love this game. It's a great game. And I like the ESO universe, but even when I was in Skyrim, I always felt a little lonely because I knew someone else wasn't there. Just like how that person just jumped into the group. It's fantastic. And you can have guilds and do the other stuff and all that, do it heavy. But I'm like a light person. I'm not a role player. I'm not into that at all. The other thing with this character, some of you might not want to play non-human characters. So all these games always have some type of human race that you can play. They won't force you to be a cat person, but this has cat people and alligator people, and they have different things. And it's not show-stopping, but it's slightly different. So I'm going to get off the horse to engage these people, and then I'm going to see a giant over to the right. And I'm like, I got to have me some giant. So I'm chasing those guys, but they've gone too far. In my head, I'm like, okay, let me go get this giant. So there's a giant, and now I'm going to engage the giant. So YouTube, werewolves, vampire, never wanted to be a vampire. So I'm not, what is that? I'm Team Jacob, although I'm not Team Jacob or the other guy. Team Robert Pattinson. I'm definitely not a vampire. But we're going to take this giant down. And then I'm going to show you another mechanic. You can see I'm up. I'm in these videos sometimes. I do not, and you can see I get some advancement in my skills as I'm leveling those up. there's no easy way down. If this was WoW, it would have an elevator. I'd go on the elevator and take me down, but this is ESO. It doesn't have an elevator. So I'm like, maybe I can make it down. Miss my first jump. Miss the next jump. YouTube, dead. But story doesn't end here. I can revive on the spot, have a thing called soul gems that you can fill up, or you can buy already full that let you revive anywhere. Right, just everything's fantastic. Yeah, it hurts the durability of my gear. Oh, I saw another giant, so gonna have to smoke him, right? So this is the thing where I'll stop for veterans, right? Because you get a little XP gain on it, and they're worth the while. You kill the minor people so fast. And I'm eventually taunt him and make him run at me. Now, I don't have to because he wasn't going to kill my companion, but... And there it is. So now I'm going to turn in this last quest, YouTube. So I think it's... If you're an Elder Scrolls person, you can scratch an itch with this game. I think it's a buy it once, and then I know that once you buy it, then it's free. You get most of the stuff. There's maybe 1 or 2 zones that I would buy. I always buy the Dragon Zone, Northern Elsewhere, because I like fighting dragons. And the dragons are a lot tougher than these bosses. You cannot solo a dragon. And there's my... I was going to move that, but I guess I'm going to leave it here now too. Like, subscribe, share. So, and look what's going to happen, YouTube. I'm like, and this guy is all over me. Because I ran away from the other guy, now I'm just kill on sight. So YouTube, this is Ronin Kaze. Now is the time to do ESO. And I'm not going to die because I have all those skills. But I don't want to kill that guy. That'll just make my bounty higher. We can talk about those another time. Thanks, YouTube. Ronin Kaze out.